trust these.
Whose heart will go on?
I'm on dangerous waters.
We have your first look at this week's episode of The Bachelorette. Hey everyone, welcome back to another shared news panel. Today we are getting a first look at what's going to happen this week on The Bachelorette, and it looks like all those rumors are true. They are getting on a cruise ship. We'll get into all of it, but first, if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, and I am joined today by Gianna Gravalisi. Gianna, before we begin, I just want to get your feelers on whether you're enjoying this double Bachelorette season or not, because I know Bachelor Nation has some pretty strong opinions about this season so far.
Oh, is it horrible to say that I'm still getting used to it? I mean, it's at the beginning, I was loving it. And then there were some moments that I wasn't loving it. I kind of felt like we were in limbo. There wasn't much happening. I still didn't know the rules. I was confused. And then, last week with Gabby being upset, I was so mad because I'm like, how could production let this happen? So I would say right now I have a love-hate relationship with this season. So I guess we'll see what my thoughts are after this trailer or even next week. You'll have to ask me again.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're still feeling things out. I feel like it always takes a couple of episodes to really decide if you are really enjoying it or not. I will say that I really am enjoying both Gabby and Rachel. I think they are wonderful leads. And I know we're getting into some muddy waters with there being two bachelorettes, but I feel connected to both of them. I feel like I'm rooting for both of them, which, no offense to Clayton, I know that we don't want to slander Clayton anymore. He's been through enough, but I just didn't feel that way watching his season. So I think so far, just to have that emotional connection to both Gabby and Rachel has been really good. I think we're going to start to see these two much happier now that we've kind of cleared the waters and they've decided which men are going to be pursuing Gabby, which men are going to be pursuing Rachel. And from here on out, it seems like we're going to be watching, two different seasons of The Bachelorette essentially happening at the same time. And if you can remember, during the off season, there were all these rumors that the whole entire season was going to take place on a cruise ship. Well, it might not be the whole season, but they are definitely going to be setting sail. And we have your first look at The Bachelorette at Sea. Let's take a look.
Monday sets sail for romance.
And love.
Where the men...
I mean, straight off the bat, we can't even go any further because they're playing Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On. What is happening?
It's so corny. It's so corny. I can't. Of course they're playing this song that we all know is from Titanic, which is Jack and Rose. It's one of the cutest, saddest love stories ever. And I just wouldn't put it past them. I mean, these little teasers, ever since the beginning of the season, they have been taking popular songs and just making the corniest puns and using them. We had Shania Twain, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, with the double Bachelorette teaser. And then we had another TikTok song, and I can't remember the exact lyrics, but they were using that as a pun too. So just overall, this song shook me to my core right when I heard the first little flute sound in the beginning. And then right off the bat, we have Gabby saying that she's in love. Oh, already? What is happening? This is crazy.
But I think it's good. I mean, obviously, it's good that she's saying this now because we know that she had a rough week this last week with three of the guys dumping her, essentially. If we go back to that clip, it looks like she's going to have maybe a one-on-one with Jason, and she's kissing Jason in this scene. It looks like they're in Paris. I've been to the Eiffel Tower. I can tell you that's what it looks like, all lit up. So, I mean, yes, Gabby was having a little bit of a rough go, but put her on a cruise ship, let her go, run around Paris with a really hot guy, and I think that she is going to be okay. I want to keep this moving forward. Let's take a look at the next clip for this week's episode.
The men put the naughty back in nautical.
I don't trust these.
Whose heart will go on?
I'm on dangerous waters here.
Okay, the mystery that we're all trying to figure out, what's going on with Meatball? I thought he was eliminated. They had that little conversation at the end out of nowhere because, we saw him reject Rachel's rose last week. We did get a little bit of a conversation between the two of them while the credits were rolling. But I watch on Hulu the next day and it cut it off. So I didn't ever see if Rachel officially invited him back into the house. Obviously, we now know that she did, and he's kind of throwing someone under the bus here in this moment with Rachel as he says that one of the guys said, I don't trust these. And I feel like we all know probably what the word was. Gianna, thoughts on this? Thoughts on Meatball and him being the one to protect Rachel here?
Yeah, so first of all, with Meatball coming back, I also watch on Hulu the next day. So I was a little taken aback when I just saw his face because I was like, didn't he go? I'm so confused. I didn't see the credits. But maybe what I'm thinking is because Gabby and Rachel right now have an even amount of men, if I'm not mistaken. I was just looking at a graph on one of the Bachelor Nation Instagram accounts because I was trying to refresh myself with who was who and who was with who. And I saw a pretty even split. So I'm thinking that they maybe had Rachel invite just one of the guys back just to make it an even amount of men. I could be totally wrong. That's my little theory though. But here we have him being, a knight in shining armor. He's going up to Rachel to tell him that one of the guys said that phrase about them. And as we know, Gabby and Rachel do not mess around. So whoever said this, they're going to get thrown overboard. Like knowing these two women, like that is not an okay statement to make. Like they are going to get pushed off the rail and out to sea. Like I don't even know who even could have said that at this point, because I thought we eliminated all the bad men. There haven't really been that many villains this season. I feel like every single season we have the good guy, the innocent guy, the villain. There's been like no roles this season. And I think that's the big piece of the puzzle that's making Bachelor Nation disdain this season as a whole. Because, it's not the most dramatic when it comes to the men in the house. I feel like we all love to see a good cat fight between even the guys, but it seems like whoever said this about, Gabby and Rachel, must have meant a lot to, I think, Rachel, because we then see her walk away and she looks really, really upset. So I'm going to say it's one of Rachel's men. I don't know who it could have been. I'm going to say Logan. I don't remember if he was Gabby or Rachel's guy, but I just think that he said that.
Yeah, so here we see him saying, I'm on dangerous waters here. I don't know if he means literally or figuratively. However, Logan was one of the few men that was struggling with his feelings in regards to if he wanted to pursue Gabby or Rachel. We have seen teasers in the past where I believe it is Logan gets farther down the line and says to now we know Rachel that he still has feelings on the other side. So who knows if in the long run he's going to essentially break up with Rachel because he had feelings for Gabby. They always try to throw us off like with the teasers, but do you think that Logan is somebody to watch out for, that he might be the villain of the season?
Yeah, 100%. And I don't even think he's like an intentional villain. I just think that he's a confused guy, like doesn't really know what he wants. And that's obviously horrible. But I mean, from the get-go, like when the guys went to the after party at Gabby and Rachel's place, Logan was the only guy to kiss both women. And he, it was so almost like calculated how he first went up to, I forget who it was first, but he went up to Gabby and said, I admire you for this, this, and this, and then made out with her. And then went to Rachel and was like, I love that you do this, this, and this, and then made out with her. It was like the same exact interaction. And then we had that really weird debacle where, Gabby and Rachel were talking and Rachel said, I really like Logan. We made out. And then Gabby was just like, oh, and she didn't, or at least we didn't see her tell Rachel, like, me too. I also made out with Logan. So I feel like producers are trying to spin it, make him seem innocent, trying to make it seem like, he's not really in the middle. why else would they edit that scene that way? Because if we know Gabby, we know she was probably like, oh, same, like, but do you want him? Like, I don't really care. So they're trying to throw us off with him. So I think that he's definitely gonna throw us all for a loop. And it's gonna be, like you said, rough, dangerous waters.
Yeah, well, of course, we're super excited for this next episode. Like I said in the beginning, I just feel like now that they have split, they've gone their separate ways, that the journey will be a little bit easier for the women. Now, it's never a walk in the park. There's going to be drama, there's going to be tears, there's going to be heartbreak. But I feel like at least now they can move forward with more of a clear head. Do you have any predictions? Maybe who will get one-on-one dates, who will get group date roses, anything you prefer, Gianna?
Oh, this is a great question because, again, like I was telling you off camera, Morgan, like I need to refer to the sheet of the men because I still don't know who's even with who at this point, like who's where. And now we have Meatball, even though he was gone. Like I am genuinely all confused. All I know is I really do think Tino is going to go really far just because he's someone that's sticking out for me on Rachel's end. And then with Gabby, I feel like Eric is also going to go far, but I feel like he's going to throw us for a loop too for some reason. Like he just seems too good to be true. So I'm just waiting for Eric, Tino, Logan, and someone else to break our hearts or just confuse us all because we just know that it's bound to happen. I don't want to see it happen, but I think it's gonna. So yeah.
I feel like it's really clear who like the major front runners are. I think for Rachel, like you said, Tino, I think Avon is a front runner. There's been a lot of promotional teases about Logan, so I feel like he will make it far as well. And then on Gabby's side, Eric, Jason, who it looks like she's about to have a one-on-one date with, and then Nate. Nate has just gotten the best edit. He seems like he has a so, those right now are the front runners. I even think Tyler kind of emerged as a front runner this week. My predictions, and I've said this on one of our shared news videos before, as much as I love Nate, those single fathers have a hard time staying away from their babies for the whole experience. I mean, we've seen it in the past with Michael A. and with others. So I just feel like Nate won't make it all the way to the end, but he's definitely going to be one to watch.
Nate for Bachelor already. Can we do this now? I know it's only been a few weeks, but I'm already putting my Bachelor roster out there. So Nate is number one on my list.
I love it. All right, you guys, let us know who you are already shipping for the next Bachelor. It's never too soon. Let us know in the comments. We love to hear all of your thoughts, opinions. How do you think this dual Bachelorette season is going? Do we need to keep our eye on Logan? Anything you want to get off chest, our comment section is open for you. Please be sure to like this, subscribe to our channel before you leave so you never miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. You can come say hi to myself and Gianna. Our Instagram handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you back next time. Bye.